Suzanne, we were going to have you on last week, and then we took the governor's press conference. She ran a little bit long. Our apologies, but we're excited to have you with us today. Suzanne Levine, the Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. And if I could have an ask, can you have me not follow someone so interesting next time? She's a hard act to follow.
Lieutenant Sarah Krebs, she really is pretty amazing. I believe her family was in law enforcement prior to her, but she, like she said, she started out as a forensic artist. And on the code cases, she would, take the pictures and redraw them and try to update them and stuff. So really is a fascinating person. But you're fascinating as well, and you're doing so much through this past year to try to help our businesses survive. Are you burned out a little bit, Suzanne?
Actually, right now I'm re-energized because I feel that people are starting to try to get back to some sort of sense of, normal, and they want to meet in person. So I'm starting to get excited trying to figure out some sort of safe hybrid version of in-person and virtual. So I think, with spring that there's a lot of hope, and that's what I'm, counting on right now.
And that's good. I do feel like throughout this past year, there have been so many ups and downs. It's been almost like a roller coaster where, we get hopeful and then it comes down, we get hopeful. But I think with so many people getting the vaccine and the weather is getting nicer, sunshine is amazing for our soul.
Yes, vitamin D. We can't get enough of it. Absolutely.
But I know one of the newest campaigns that you guys have going on is S.O.S, Support Our Shops. Tell us more about that.
Well, it was born out of the idea that I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that people do support our local community. We need these small businesses. They are the backbone of our livelihood. They support our schools and our communities. So I was trying to figure out some sort of campaign that could bring customers in, and I was very fortunate to get a great partner in LaFontaine Automotive Group, Subaru and Commerce. They are the sponsor of this great campaign. And Audrey Reiskamp, who is just, I don't know if you're familiar with her, but she's just this amazing marketing person for them. And we developed this idea that she would go into many of our local shops and purchase $25 gift cards. And then I would have a trivia contest the beginning and the end of the month. And the first person to answer it would win a $25 gift card to many of our great shops like Crispelli's, Lash Lounge, the UPS store. So we have a lot of really great local community shops, and I'm really hoping that we can bring some business back to them. Maybe people aren't aware that they even exist.
What's been heartbreaking, Suzanne, is when you do go out, because so many of us have been staying really close to home, but when you do go out and you see so many empty storefronts, and it's happening more and more and more. And these were the small businesses. These were not our Walmarts and our Targets and our Menards, and they're going to be gone for good.
Absolutely. And it is heartbreaking. I'm really hoping that I've spoken to some people at Oakland County. They are a fabulous resource for our businesses, and I know that they're trying to figure out a way to help support the ones that have managed to survive. And I know that they're trying to figure out a way to bring back some of the businesses that had to close because of the pandemic. So, stay tuned for more details as this last COVID $1 trillion deal, comes through, and there is more money available to these small businesses.
So, Suzanne, you really have your pulse on the business community here within our area. One thing I feel like in the beginning, people were energized, and when you put out that call for help and to support local, people were really responding. But as this has continued, we are now a year in, do you find some of that support is wavering because the message has kind of gotten lost?
I think so. So that's why I'm trying to see what I can do. And this support our shops this is a year-long campaign. Perhaps we'll continue it, for an indeterminate amount, which I'm hoping. But I'm trying to figure out some other ways to help support our local businesses by connecting them with our board members so that perhaps they can either do business or perhaps they can offer some advice or suggestions, and always trying to direct them to Oakland County, the One-Stop Shop Business Center, which is a phenomenal resource because they'll look at their finances, they'll, help try to direct them. Maybe they should be doing this, maybe they should move to a different location. It is heartbreaking because I know so many of our chamber members have just shut their doors. And for me, it's more than just that we've lost a member, we've lost an important part of our community.
Suzanne Levine with us here on the MegaCast. She's the executive director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. What positives do you think have come out of this past year?
I think people are more grateful, and I think they realize that, I know for myself, even, walking in my neighborhood, I never knew that half of these neighbors existed. So, and I notice that every time anyone walks, they're waving at bus drivers and at Amazon drivers and the mail carriers. So I think there is a deeper sense of gratitude for health and family that perhaps we took for granted. So if there's any positive in that. And I think in spite of some of our differences, I really do think that people want to help. Whether it's through these charities, I think that's a great charity that I heard Sarah mention. I'm going to be, kind of cognizant of that because I certainly have a lot of samples of cosmetics and things that I could definitely donate. So I think it's just making people aware of what is going on in our community and how they can help, because every person can do something. You don't have to give thousands of dollars. There's one small act of random kindness that you can do to try to make someone's life better, whether it's a smile, even though you can't see through the mask, but you can see through your eyes. I know that sometimes when I go places, I'll hand out calendars or things that I've received, and people are so shocked. It's like, oh, what? Like, why are you giving this to me? So I'll make up something like it's Random Act of Kindness Day, and they go, oh, okay.
That's a good way to do it so they don't think you're crazy.
That's right.
A year into this, businesses that maybe have not taken advantage of the Chamber's resources, what do you want them to know?
I want them to know that we are definitely here for them, that they can call me, they can email me, they can go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, sign up for our newsletters and our e-blasts. We have so many networking events. I have one once a week, a virtual. I'm hoping to transition into more of a hybrid where they're in person, but we have great speakers. We had block advisors talk about taxes, which is kind of a scary thing anyway. We're having our own Eric Glick, who's an attorney, talk about wills and trusts, because it's something we really don't want to think about, but we really should, because you don't want to put your family in that position if something should happen. We have our senior resource group with our great partner, West Bloomfield Parks and Rec. So these are free resource classes for seniors from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, the third Wednesday of every month. And there's great information. They're not selling anything. They're just trying to give them some important information. We have our Business Innovation Generator, our BIG, where we also have great speakers. And we have our Women's Inspiration Network, where I get great female speakers on a variety of topics that are interesting and important to women. So these are all free classes. So anyone can hop in, and these are just things that the Chamber's trying to offer to the community to, maybe give them some information they didn't have, or maybe they can network with someone that they didn't know existed. Maybe they can do business.
That's a great thing, because I will say, I think one thing, we all need to feel connected right now during these times because of this past year. It's been a challenge. I miss talking to strangers in line at Starbucks, or, just saying hi. And I want to say to people, no, I am smiling under my mask. And so this is a good way to be able to do that, and be a part of the community as well.
And I also kind of bill myself as a business matchmaker. So I have put some interesting businesses together, like the young man that owned a pizza shop. I connected him to all the real estate agents, and I said, you should tell them when they sell a house, you should deliver a free pizza and say, welcome to the neighborhood. What a great way to let them know that, here you are in the neighborhood and, I have great pizza. So trying to figure out some great partnerships that don't cost a lot of money, but people can, maybe get some promotion, beneficial promotion through each other.
So we have spent the last year focused on so many businesses that are struggling. Which ones do you see right now are doing pretty well or even succeeding?
I see some of even our local restaurants that maybe weren't doing as well before the pandemic because of carryouts are like swamped, like in Olga's, because I know I carry out every other Friday for my grandkids, so it's like they're mobbed. So there are some local businesses that have continued, and as the nail and hair salons were allowed to open, they are very busy because, as you know, taking care of yourself, especially as a woman, is really important. And if you don't feel like you look good, then it changes your whole attitude. So I know when they opened up, I think all of us were ready to just, go out and celebrate and break out the champagne.
Right. But it has been funny. Oh my God, those first few days when they were reopened, they were so packed because they were fixing a lot of bad box.
A lot of people
hair
Googled how to do their haircut, how to do a haircut after the governor's suggestion. Yes.
What was she thinking on that one?
We won't even go there.
Yeah. But there are still people
that cost for an election at a different time.
Right. But there are still a lot of people that don't feel so comfortable going out into the public or going into the salons. And so some of these businesses we think have fully rebounded, but some of them have not. And that's where I think, too, becoming a member of the chamber is a great way to reach out to maybe another business. What worked for you? Because, Suzanne, do you find that right now businesses are willing to share that advice, whereas maybe before they wouldn't because they were afraid of the competition?
Absolutely. I think, if anything, and I've really tried to impress upon all our chamber members, competition is never going away. There could be 50 hair salons in our neighborhood. So you have to figure out what makes you unique and special. And that's what you have to, capitalize on. The same thing, we have a lot of real estate agents in our chamber. We have, some repetitive groups. It's never going away. They're not going to stop being a real estate agent because there's so much competition. So it's kind of sitting down with me, figuring out what makes you unique. I always ask people, tell me about your business. And if you can't explain to me what's great about your business, it's going to be hard for me to convey that or connect you to great partners. So I try to help them figure out those one or 2 points that distinguishes them from everyone else. And that's what they need to capitalize on.
It's almost like figure out your mission statement and live by that mission statement.
Right. You really have to, walk the walk. You can't just say, oh, this is what we do, and then not do it. I mean, there are quite a few chambers also. And if I worried about, some of the larger chambers that had more members, or like a Birmingham that has a phenomenal downtown, you cannot compare, what we offer. But I feel that because I know each one of our members, I can really hone in on what makes them special and really try to connect them with some beneficial partners.
Suzanne Levine with us here on the Mega Cast. She's the executive director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. Suzanne, just another minute or two with you here on the show before we have to say goodbye. One thing I've started to notice a year into this pandemic, some of the businesses that were getting social media savvy in the beginning stages, as they're starting to come out and things are opening up and people are coming into their stores and their shops more, they tend to drop their social media posts. And I feel like you've got to keep that going.
Absolutely. We know that the dynamic is just going to be even more social media platforms. I'm sure, by the next week or two, there'll be even new ones that are invented. I cannot believe how many apps and how many platforms there are And there is a lot of competition with that too. But I really think that advertising your business, trying to make sure that you have a positive foot forward, that people see you in a great light and know what you have to offer, is really important. People should never rest on their laurels. I mean, even before the pandemic happened, I would tell our chamber members, you have to continue to think of ways to reinvent your business, because the old ways of doing business, I don't think they're really, you can tweak them, but I don't think they're going to work in the future.
Yeah, we're not going back there.
No, we're not.
We hope that people come out of this a little bit stronger and open your eyes and support the small businesses. Drive down the street, take a look at the empty storefronts. It's not the big businesses. They have survived this. It's the small businesses. I've been surprised at just how many, Subways are closed. My husband wanted Subway the other day. Like, all of them nearby closed, and you're really having to seek some of these franchise and these smaller businesses out, and we need to continue to support them. So with that, Suzanne, tell us again where people can get more information on the S.O.S campaign.
They can go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com. They can also sign up for our e-blasts and newsletters. It's on the right-hand side of our website, or you can contact me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com. And I'm happy to even if you're not a chamber member, I'm happy to direct you to resources to help your business, survive, because we are, I hate, repeating sort of the same mantras, but we are all of this, blah, I can't even say it. All of us are in this together. So, let's try to help one another, because I really believe that it will come back to you in positive ways.
Absolutely. And with this, it is Women's History Month. We want to honor you and say thank you for all the work that you're doing. Any woman out there you want to give a shout out to, or even a historical figure that you looked up to throughout your career?
Wow, there's so many. I guess my biggest hero is my mom, who's been gone for quite a while, because she survived the worst of humanity, but yet was the kindest, most thoughtful, generous, open-minded person. And she really set the bar very high for me. So I miss her every day, but I would say that she truly was, the best mother, grandmother ever. So I miss you, Mom, more than words will ever say, but she gave me so much that, I'm so grateful that I was fortunate enough to be her daughter.
And I'm sure she was proud of you. There are so many women we need to celebrate during this month as well. Suzanne, thank you again for all your time, but also for everything that you've been doing to try to bring our businesses together throughout the pandemic.
Well, and thank you for all you do. I don't think people realize what an important service Civic Center TV, both of you, all of you really do for our community. So thank you again for all you do.